Welcome to the Lynn Show, and today we're going to have a very special guest with us. Well, I'm going to make you a bit curious about it. We're going to have a man that has been in the investigative journalism department. This is quite a challenging department, as we all know, because you have to find out a lot of things. You're going to be under so many challenges, but this man here decided to take up the task. He is well known from the case files from KTN. He is Mr. Dennis Onsarigo. This man is going to tell us about his journey and how his career has been. Good afternoon, Mr. Dennis Onsarigo.
Good afternoon. You said your name was again Lynn Cherono,
Yes,
right?
I'm Lynn Cherono, and I'd like
Okay.
to get to know more about you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for joining us today. Kindly tell us more about yourself.
Um, I don't know. You have to be more specific. My name is Dennis Nsarigo.
Most
I'm a
people know
journalist
you
by
from
training.
file.
Oh, I'm a journalist by training, and I'm media consultant and a political strategist. Yes.
Okay, so like who is Dennis apart from this whole media thing?
Um, it's a very difficult question to ask. Dennis is just Dennis. As I said, I'm a journalist. I'm a father. I'm a husband, and I'm a human being. That's it.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
So kindly give us a brief background of your education. We'd like to know how you got to where you are.
Um, I hope this is not for publication. This is for academic work, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I went to the Kenyan Institute of Mass Communication for my diploma in broadcast journalism before I moved to the University of Nairobi, where I did my degree in communications and political science. Currently, I'm in my final semester for a master's degree in governance, peace, and security studies. Currently, I consult for Raila Odinga Secretariat. I also um, consult and work as the Director of Communications for Taita Taveta County. Yeah, that's as much as my professional background and my academic background goes, yes.
Okay. So clearly you've done several things in your education. So why did you decide to follow this profession of being in the media industry, being a journalist? Why did you choose that path?
I think it was a calling or an instinct because I remember when I was in high school, I was the chairperson of the journalism club. And we used to record news. We used to wake up at 5 in the morning to record news on a radio cassette, if you remember it, and then have it
Maybe I wasn't
broadcast
born.
I know, at 7 o'clock in the morning. So local news was the national news on the radio station, where, for example, they'll start off the broadcast with President Moi's itinerary, what was likely to do that day. So that was our national news. And then our local news was either a burst pipe or an overflowing toilet or an outbreak of cholera in one of our dormitories. That was our local news. So this broadcast generated a lot of interest because the school management used to act on this broadcast. So we record them, then we play them during the plenary, and the school principal will pick up the issues from the broadcast when something is done. So that's where I developed my interest from before I later joined KIMC and later joined Nation Media Group as a camera person for Nation TV, which is currently NTV. Where I worked, I think, for 1 year as an intern before I transitioned into a TV journalist. Yes. So my interest of doing my interest in journalism was born out of my interest in reporting crime, because I realized crime touches every sector of, of, of the society, and nothing brings people close or makes people afraid like crime does. So that's why I developed interest in journalism, and in particular reporting crime stories. Yes.
Wow. Okay, you're well known for doing investigative journalism at KTN. So how would you prepare yourself for this? Back then, would you do some breathing exercise?
Yeah, it takes work. I think everything takes work. Everything takes practice. Everything takes. Hold on, kidogo. Bro, niko na Zoom call. 5 more minutes. Imagine. Sorry, we'll take that again.
Yeah. So how would you prepare yourself before going to the screen?
I think journalism entails many things. It entails tonation. It entails voice projection. It entails rehearsals. You have to rehearse your script. So for you to pull it off nicely, then you have to rehearse your script. And for a production of, let's say, 25 minutes of an investigative series like Case Files, you need, I think, 17 pages of a script. So you have to time yourself.
That's
to
quite a
know
lot.
how, yes, you'll have to time yourself to know how long it will take you, for example, to read a page, and that will take you 1 minute and 35 seconds or something like that. When you're doing a bigger project, like an investigative story, you need 42 or 43 pages, and then you have to space them out. You need to know how to catch a breath between reading the script, or do you want to take a break? Because sometimes when you do take a break, it will affect the flow of your voicing. So you have to prepare yourself well.
So that was quite necessary for you.
Very important because of long form journalism. Yes.
Okay. So currently you left Case Files, yeah, and left KTN. So how would you compare your current job compared to what you are doing at KTN?
It's a bit hot down here in Mombasa. That's why I keep doing this. Work is the same. Being a director of communications entails collection of information and and what is it called again? Dissemination, whatever that word is, of information. Okay. So I control, I think, 11 departments, where each department on a daily basis, people go out and have and launch either projects or sit in meetings, and then those stories are sent to a central server where they are edited and transmitted either to social media, mainstream media, or for internal consumption. Is it any different from the newsroom? Yes, the newsroom is a bit hectic and is time based. But at the county level, things are a bit slow. But at the end of the day, people need to know what the government is doing. People need to understand government policies and government plans. So it's not any different. The difference is I'm not on TV, but good thing is we'll be back on TV next year because we are working on a couple of investigative pieces and based on case files, which will be airing in one of our local stations, I think, from some time next year. And apart from that, we also get to do many other things. So it's different, it's hectic, but it's not as demanding as it was when I was at KTN, yes.
So you'd say this is better for you?
It's a challenge that someone should take up, and it's a challenge that you have to move on from at some point in life. Yes.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier that this was a calling for you, journalism. So what was your best moment and your worst moment in your career?
There are no worst moments in careers. I know they're just setbacks. I think I think my best moment was in 2005 or 6 when I came the Kenya as a camera person, but I was given an editing software and I was given, sorry?
No, I was losing you at some point, but it's okay.
I was given an editing software. Yeah, I was given an editing software, a laptop, and a gadget to help you transmit your videos. So at the end of the day, we became the first media house in Africa to broadcast the first images of the Kenya Airways crash in Cameroon, and our channel and my link from the ground was picked up by many international media houses and of course regional media houses and the continental ones like SABC and NTV Uganda, name it. So that was my biggest of my
I'm losing you.
stroke peak of my punk. We did a groundbreaking story. I'm here.
Yeah, it's okay. No.
Yeah, are we okay now?
Yeah.
So the biggest, the climax of my career, I think, was in 2010 to 2015 when we did groundbreaking investigative stories. Among them, one that was dubbed Poachers and Butchers, where we exposed government officials engaged in poaching. And I can proudly say that 6 years later, we have not had a single case of poaching of rhinos in this country, save elephants. We have not had a single case of poaching of rhinos because of that groundbreaking documentary that we did, and that led to convictions of senior police officers who were engaged in extrajudicial killings. And one of the biggest highlights also was exposing the story of the drugs in this country. The biggest drugs, which was 4 billion in 2004, the biggest crime story I think we did, which I think that was our last question, right?
No, I had lost you at some point, but it's now okay. I think it's either my network or yours. Okay, so in the future, what would you want to do
Okay.
in this industry?
I think journalism is going online at the moment. If you notice that the biggest consumers of news don't have to wait for news at 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock the traditional way. News is now, and news is online. And I think the internet is the biggest market for news consumers. And that is an area we want to explore. We are currently working on something with my colleague, James Matt, to roll out advocacy and broadcasts about governance and politics and management. So that is our biggest 2022. That is a plan, yes.
Yeah. I still have 2 more questions for you and then we can
Are we there?
Yeah, I still have 2 more questions for you, then we can be done.
Okay.
So what would you tell a young person that's passionate about journalism?
There's no guesswork in journalism. You can't find it in class. Class prepares you to have good grades, and class prepares you to understand that there are laws that govern journalism. It will allow you to understand that if you defame me, then you're likely to face prosecution in a court of law. And if I deny you information, then you have a right under Article 35 to have access to that information. That's what journalism does for you in class. But the practical bit of it is for you to step out there. You can't guess it. You can have the most amazing paperwork from a local university to international university. you can't hack it. Journalism is out here, and you must read and read widely. It's very, very important if you want to become a good journalist. So it's not in class. It's never in class. It's practical. It is out here. Yes.
So given a chance, you'd definitely choose the same career because you said you're passionate about it.
Journalism is like riding a bike. The more you ride a bike, the more you become better. The more you fly a plane, the more you clock in more hours. So journalism is my thing. It's something I want to do, and I want to be back at some point, but at a managerial level. But that's story for another day. Yeah, but I'm still a journalist. I'm still registered. Yes.
My
last question.
Would be, what would you do different if you were to do this all over again? Like, given the chance to start.
Nothing. I know better now, so I'll continue doing what I used to do. That's all. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good day.
Karibu sana, asante.